So last time we introduced the course. Now you can see the course on your Moodle page. I will introduce a little bit how the course is divided on Moodle. So first, in the forums, you can find several ideas for the project topic. So you have, for example, by accessing these links, you can read about renewable energy, financial risk analysis on renewable energy technologies, climate change, which will also be tackled in this course, how we can have electricity generation from footsteps. So this is a very original idea that research is done over recently. We have also ideas about rising ocean temperature, oil companies, hyperloop transportation. So you have a lot of ideas here. You can read about these ideas if you are interested. Many of you have already sent me their ideas for the project. So please, by the end of this week, I need to have all groups formed. Okay. I will send you a list of the topics already reserved, so you can know what are the other ideas you can go over. Now, concerning the course material, as I told you, the course material is divided into several chapters, and you have recorded PowerPoints, and at the same time, you have the chapters in PDF with the complete explanation in the YouTube playlist. So here in this section, recorded PowerPoint, you can find all chapters with voiceover. So in case you prefer PowerPoint with voiceover on YouTube videos, you can go over these PowerPoints. In YouTube links, you will find for each chapter some links to explain more the ideas, and that will clarify issues for you, okay? Especially for persons that doesn't have an engineering background, you can go over these links to have more information about the material. Now, for each chapter, also you have a problem section where you have you can practice with problems related to the chapters. And after going over these problems, to make sure that you grasp the different concepts, you have the assignment section where you have several assignments on the different chapters we'll go over with their solution. Now, as we mentioned before, you have a midterm exam, a final exam, and a project, okay? So now for the project, we'll start together with some guidelines and what are the possible topics you can go over. So that at the end of this week, I hope we'll have all groups formed, so you can start with your work on projects. And for each live session, we can have like 15 minutes to discuss your ideas in case you have some difficulties or you need anything while doing your project. This file is posted also on Moodle, which is project guidelines. So we'll summarize here what I am expecting from you in the project and what are the ideas you can work on. So to start with, the course project will consist of a report and a presentation that should be completed in groups of maximum 3 students. As I told you before, you can do the project individually or form groups of 2 or 3. And of course, higher is the number of persons, so I expect harder work, okay? Now, concerning the content, first, in any research paper, the first step will be to read a lot of papers to be able to build a literature review, okay? And so whenever you select a topic, Google it, and you will have a lot of related articles. And AUB Libraries offers for you articles in very important journals. So you have Elsevier journal, you have, let's say, building and environment, you have energy and buildings, you have energy and simulation. So you have a lot of journals that you can work with related to the engineering field. You can download articles from libraries and Then you can mention these articles in your report. When reading these articles, you will build like a knowledge about what was done in the research topic you are concerned with. And you can detect, like, if you want, what are the challenges and what can be done to enhance, if you want, the state of the research concerned within the topic. So to start with, after having some readings, you will have an idea about what your project can be on and what is the main idea that you can suggest if you want. A lot of you asked me, what is the contribution that I am expecting? Look, I know that it's not at the end a master thesis. You cannot maybe do experiments, or you cannot, let's say, build a complete model. Yes, it's fine for me, but I just want you to propose something new. So you can, for example, if you are working on a system, you can have a literature on different systems done in a certain engineering topic, and you can try to combine ideas or try to propose something new to enhance the efficiency of the system. So this is the originality I am expecting. In case you are a graduate student and you are able to perform experiments in your lab, it will be very good to do some experiments, or even to write a small code if you want, a small program code using MATLAB, or also you can do CFD simulation, or let's say if you are working in passive building designs, you can work with an HVAC system software. So I am open to all possible ideas. You can do whatever you want and try to have a certain contribution, because this will make your project more original. So in the abstract, you will summarize the project content and its main findings. And after this, in the introduction, you will first expose your literature review. So once you have some readings, you download several articles, you can see what are the main ideas covered in literature. So this is what we call literature review. We read several articles, and then we mention for each article what was the contribution, what was the main challenges. In this way, we can build up, like, if you want, a knowledge about what was done and what is the gap. So how we can work to enhance the state of this project. After doing this, you can introduce your project and state the objectives of what you are doing. Once you are done with the introduction, you can move to the body. Of course, this is a proposition for how to decompose your work. You can play a little bit with it. You can have a lot of subsections, but in overall, this is the overall outline that I am expecting. In the body, you can divide the body into several categories. You can describe and compare the different systems involved in your project. You can look at recent development in the field, and this will allow you to move to the next section of conclusion and recommendations. And of course, your report should include references. The references you use, please try to avoid using just links from the internet, because it's better to have articles, it's better to have resources that are well trusted. Okay. And of course, to organize more your work, provide a list of figures and a list of tables. So this is an overall what is the content of the project. Now I will go with you over some possible project topics. So in case you didn't select yet your project topic, I will advise you, I will expose for you several possible topics, so you can select one of them. Please, whenever you form your group, directly tell me, because we want to have different topics and different ideas, so we cannot have two groups with the same idea. So directly let me know to make sure that it's not reserved already. Okay. Now let us go over some possible topics. So as I told you already in the forums, you can have several readings on possible topics. And also I will expose for you here some other possibilities. Just 1 second. Okay, so some of potential research topics are exposed here. So first, for example, you can work on electrochemical capacitors as a mean of energy storage in electrical vehicles. You know that recently we are suggesting a lot the use of electrical vehicles because the cost of fuel is very high, and we have shortage in fuel. Especially, for example, in Lebanon, recently we are trying to go from fuel consumption to electrical consumption because of the difficulties we are facing with importing fuel and the high cost of fuel. Another possible topic is electricity storage using wind energy. So you can work on wind energy as possibility. You can work also on hydropower because electricity storage can be used using several renewable energy. One of them is wind energy, but you can also use hydropower. You can use also solar energy. So how we can store electricity from different kinds of renewable energies. In addition, another possible topic is hybrid concentrated photovoltaic and thermal power. We have a lot of systems that rely on solar energy. One of them is the hybrid concentrated photovoltaic system. So you can see that if you read in literature about photovoltaic cells, you will see that at the beginning, the efficiency of such cells was very low. This is why we did a lot of research to enhance their performance, and we come up with new systems allowing us to increase the efficiency of photovoltaic cells, which made this engineering design viable economically. Because as we said, even if you suggest a very important idea on the scientific level, if on the economic level it's not viable, then it will not be introduced in the market. Another possibility of projects is coal power plants and stabilization wedges. So you can work also on coal power plants, how we can enhance their efficiency, how we can reduce the pollution, how they are working, and how they progressed with time. Another possibility is assessing CO2 capture and storage in power generation and industrial use technologies. For this topic, you know that CO2 is one of the harmful gases. It's a harmful gas, and we try a lot whenever we want to produce energy. We try a lot to reduce CO2 and CO consumptions. So this is why, in case we have to generate CO2, we try to capture it and store it in order to transform it from a harmful product to a product that can be used in other technologies for power generation. Another also possible topic is battery technologies for plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. So this field is a little bit related to the first one, but it's based on another idea. But both have in common that we want to have vehicles that are driven by electricity. Here you can search for the battery technology, how we can use it to create hybrid electric vehicles so that we reduce the consumption based on fuel. Another possibility is Stirling engines, and not only this type of engines. You can suggest any type of engine, how it's working, how we can enhance its performance, what can be done. Sometimes we'll see that if you combine several cycles together, you can enhance the efficiency of an engine, because you know that an engine is built based on a thermodynamic cycles. We'll study together, for example, what are the cycles, the thermodynamic cycles that are the base of engine systems, and how we can enhance these cycles, how we can combine cycles. You know, sometimes you can combine several cycles to enhance the energy performance of the system. So this can be one possible topic. Another possible topic is smart grids. You know that in developed countries, some houses can sell electricity to the state because we have grids that are connected. So they connect the the grid of the on the country level, on the macro scale, this grid is connected to houses. So if any house has an excess in energy, because in Europe you have a lot of houses using a lot renewable energy. So sometimes if they have excess, they can store energy, and plus they can, let's say, sell a part of this energy by sharing it with the grid of the country, electrical grid of the country. So the smart grids is a very interesting topic, and we can see how we can efficiently use energy on a macro scale. Another possible topic is the potential for reduction of carbon dioxide by engineered microorganisms. So this is also related to a reduction of CO2 emissions, because we'll see in this course how CO2 emissions are harmful to the environment and what is their effects. This is why we have an urgent need to reduce CO2 emissions, or if we have CO2 emissions, to control them. And one way to control them, as we have seen before, is to have capture of CO2 and storage in order to have power generation from CO2. Another possibility is hybrid power plants. Whenever we talk about hybrid power plants, you have here a lot of ideas that you can base on. Because whenever we say hybrid, we are connecting two different technologies. So sometimes you can connect, let's say, for example, a steam turbine to another engine. You can connect, let's say, electrical power plant with hydro power plant. So hybrid power plants will always connect to different, if you want, fields. And in the majority of cases, you will obtain very high efficiencies compared to standalone systems. So these are possible ideas in addition to the ones that are present in the forum. So please, I'm still waiting your groups with the subject. Please try by the end of this week to send me your groups and the topics, because you are expected to start working on the project. So within 1 month, we can start to do the presentations. So in each live session, we'll have presentations of some groups. It's very important to share information together, because you will see that while you present your topics, you will also learn new things related to the course material. And we can learn in this way, in a funny way, something related to the course. So this is an overall what I want to tell you about the project. Do you have any question concerning the project?
Yes, doctor. Send the group names and the topic through email. There's another way.
Look, sorry, the voice is lagging a little bit. Can you try to change your place, please?
Doctor, concerning sending the names.
Yes.
Do we send it through email?
I don't know if the problem is from me. Are you hearing the question, or just it's my connection? Can you please type it in the chat? Do you hear me well? Is my voice clear for you? Okay, so please, maybe you have a connection problem. Can you type your question in the chat? Any other question while waiting for your friend? What? Okay. Carl, what is the difference between literature review and recent developments in the body of the project? aren't the development included in the literature review? Okay, yes, very good question. Look, in the literature review, you do like a brief description of what was done. Okay, but in the body you have some systems, some scientific systems, so you should like put the figure of the system, explain the function of each component. Okay, so let's say for example you are talking about PV development, okay, photovoltaic cells development. In the literature you will say that the first system PV cell studied by this researcher was not very efficient because with high temperature, for example, the efficiency was reduced a lot. So the other researcher proposed to combine PV with a cooling system in order to avoid increase of temperature. So you just if you want, state in brief what was done. In the body, you start to talk about physics. You include equations, you include description of the system, how it's working in more detail. So you have then some, if you want, you expose the equation of the system, you put the system figure with components, you explain how each component works. And when you do this, when you understand the systems, you can compare several systems and at the end come up with a conclusion about what are the enhancements that are possible. Maybe you can suggest that by combining this idea with this one, I can avoid this disadvantage, etc. This is the idea. Okay, Carl? Concerning the name of the groups, yes, you can do it by email. You can send me a WhatsApp message directly, okay? As you want. But I prefer, even if I told you on WhatsApp, it's fine. I just prefer to have it by email and please on AUB email, because I received a lot of emails on my Gmail. I am looking at my Gmail and I noticed and I am replying to you, but I prefer to have all emails sent on the AUB email, because in this way, and just put the topic of your email, research topic of the project. In this way, I can directly, I don't want to miss any email of your email. So it's better to send all emails to AUB email. So you can discuss the idea with me on WhatsApp. But once I confirm it for you, please just send a brief email of the topic you selected and the names of the all participants in the group. Okay, Muhammad, welcome. Any other question? Okay, so this is concerning the group. Now concerning I just want to show you also here in Moodle you have a lot of links. One of them is the link for videos. Okay, so here you can find in Moodle. I will update for you Zoom link because there was a problem with it. I will update it for you. You have the WhatsApp class link and you have the YouTube playlist link. So when you go to the YouTube playlist link, you have all videos so I will post here all live sessions we do together. And also you have previous sessions. So what we will do, the way we'll do it, for each week, I will assign for you videos to watch. And in the live session, we'll discuss these videos, we'll do more practice about the material, and I will tackle your questions, okay? So here, for example, until now, last time we had the introduction. Today we talked about the project guidelines. Now we'll start with chapter 1. So for this week, I expect from you to go over chapter 1, part 1, chapter 1, part 2, and chapter 1, part 3. Okay, this is an introduction if you want for the course material, and then from chapter 2 we'll start with equations and with problems. So chapter 1 is just an introduction for the course, but it's an important chapter because in the exam you will have problems and you will have also like multiple choice questions to make sure that all concepts are clear for you. In chapter 1, don't worry, I don't want you to memorize anything. You don't have to memorize historical events or to memorize dates. I just want you to understand the concepts, how energy can be transferred from one form to the other. So chapter 1 will introduce for you the means of energy conservation and how energy can be transformed from one form to the other. And once you are done with this, you are familiar with the different forms of energy, then we'll start with the different chapters with problems. Okay? And please feel free whenever you are watching the videos, if you have any question, if anything is not clear, you don't have to wait for the live session. You can directly send me a WhatsApp message and we can elaborate more during the live session. Any other question? Okay. So please, I will mention for you again on WhatsApp now what is assigned for this week. So mainly it's to go over the videos of chapter 1, and then we can start next time. Next time I will introduce for you in briefly chapter 2, and we can start with problems related to chapter 2. Any question before we stop? Okay, thank you guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you, doctor.
Welcome.
Thank you, doctor. Bye-bye.
Welcome. Bye-bye.